All right, trying this again. Adding Austin to the live. We're going to talk about the this September. Let's see. Oh, there you are.
Hello. Yeah,
Okay, it
here
worked.
we are.
All right. Welcome. Thanks for thanks for chatting. Thanks everyone for joining. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
welcome on. Hey, Dom.
oh, that's your friend. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just wanted to go live, do kind of like a live sharing info session about the upcoming Costa Rica retreat that we're going on. I'm leading a trip to Costa Rica for yoga and sound healing this coming September 6th through 11th. It's on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica in Estoril Estes at a beautiful retreat center that's right on the ocean. And Austin is joining me to co-lead some things and add his own little flair, his own little offering. So yeah, so we just wanted
Yeah.
to chat about it for a minute. Um, yeah, so the theme is around the elements. So we're going to be moving through the four elements during the retreat. Four, yeah, in this case. So fire, water, and air. So each day will be themed around one of those elements and their quality and what we can learn from them and how we can kind of emulate them. And yeah, moving through with those themes, and we'll do yoga every day, we'll do meditation every day. I'm gonna do some sound healing with tuning forks and singing bowls, and there'll also be sweet little add-ons like getting a massage on site or doing an additional session with myself or Austin for yoga or Reiki or sound
hmm
healing. We're gonna go on a hike to a waterfall. That's Arrow. He's saying
Yeah.
hello.
He's giving
That's
us
his
sound healing
dinner
and
song.
meows.
So yeah, we just wanted to chat about it for a minute, and because I know there's always like people looking, people that are interested, but just to kind of get the faces and the voices on the scene. So in case you've been curious, we can chat and feel free to reach out. So Austin, what are you most excited about for this week?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for what I'm so excited for the location, I feel like there's that phrase that a flower really blooms when you plant in the right environment. So I'm really excited to be in this place, to have it be magical, and to create this area where actually it's so perfect for the flower analogy, where all these elements, that's like the theme of the retreat, where all these four elements come together and really nourish us in different ways. So we as flowers get to draw upon the benefit of fire, earth, air, and water, and tune into all those qualities. And I'm excited to receive those teachings from you and from that yoga perspective of how all these things combine in us and help us to grow. And plus, it'll just be gorgeous
Yeah,
there.
that. And right before this call, we signed on a few minutes late because Austin was leading me in a visualization about going there, and the people were leading. So beautiful. It totally was like going to another place. So I love kind of yeah, utilizing the environment and the elements. And what was it? What was it that you just said? The flower blooming, and what was it again?
Yeah, just this idea that we're all these flowers, and if we've been suffering right now and stressed and anxious and depressed or whatever the hell it is these past 3 years, when we can plant ourselves into a new environment, some actual magical transformation and change occurs on the inside. So it's like using the elements around us as well as the elements within us and activating
Yeah.
those to bloom and blossom.
Yeah. And I just,
Yeah, that.
those of you that have been following me may have noticed that I was just on a retreat. I was just in Mexico. And so I'm very connected with that whole concept right now of kind of changing your location and putting yourself in this state of opportunity and beauty and yeah, changing it up to experience yourself in a different way and promote growth and transformation. And I was a little bit like on the fence about whether it was going to be worth it for me to go on this retreat and, you know, the money, the time, the taking off work, that whole conversation. And yeah, like I invested some money in myself. I canceled some things. I moved some things around. I also like, you know, have had an integration period of coming back where I was like having trouble getting back into my routine. So all of that is very real and very true. And ultimately my takeaway is wow, it was so worth it. It was so worth it for me to change it up, for me to invest in myself, for me to put myself in a group of like-minded women in this case, and really just like up level everything, just change my whole consciousness. Because we all can get kind of stuck in a rut sometimes if we're doing the same stuff. And ultimately we want to be able to experience ourselves in different ways and have a different perspective on our own life, our own inner light, our own mind, so that we can shift, so that we can grow and transform in all the ways that we're hoping for and seeking. So yeah, it was so worth it. And so now I'm really inspired to get the ball rolling with our retreat and call in all the right people. And I was just visualizing being on the beach with like a drum. Austin was describing like the beautiful breeze and all this stuff. So yeah, I'm super excited and I'm definitely really into moving with the elements and using that as a guide and a thematic thread to yeah to drive our experience. Um, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so much comes up for me. It's like, and for me personally, like this winter was like a very like dark period of like going within the dark, and now it's like spring is like coming out, and so I'm feeling all this need and this need to take care of myself deeper and to go into self care, and that's what I want to offer to people is that in order to like really transform and shift from like one way of being to another way of being, like something has to change, and like that's like that pressure built up. So right now in our lives, if we're feeling this pressure and containment, like something's like bursting to get out, like that's really that seed that's popping. And, you know, this experience that we're creating, which is happening in what, 4.5 months or so, is, you know, like here's the incubator now. We're like, now it's like really time to like, when am I really going to actually take care of myself? And when am I really going to let go of all the crap and heaviness and drama and pain I've been creating in my mind and experiencing, and like really let go and release and give my body and soul like the healing that it's needed in like a really, really deep way. And it's serious. It's like we really need this. It's not just like foo fun thoughts, and we're gonna have a ton of fun and it's gonna be super floofy, but also it's like it's gonna be profound, and it's like it's time, like it's really needed for all of
Yeah,
us.
thank you. I love that. Time. Now's the time. And
Yeah.
we are super fun.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking fun as
Austin
hell.
is my dear friend, and we've had lots of travel and fun together. Yeah, we're super fun and also bring the real stuff. So I'm really excited to travel again with you and to get to collaborate and to finally get to lead a retreat. I've been wanting to lead a retreat for many years, and I've had some sort of attempts, and there's a lot of logistical things that need to be handled and a lot of logistical things that can go wrong. So we're really we're really
Yeah.
holding this one to come through, and that all the right people are ready and feel aligned and are ready for that change that you were just speaking of.
Yeah, for sure. And just like really tuning into our bodies, like just how good that could feel, like what that could feel like, what that could be like. And, you know, to get a taste of like a really magical experience. Like when I spoke with Lauren about it, it was like her first thing was like tuning into the magic of it. And I love to live my life. I know you do too, where it's like we create magic in our lives, we make magic happen and opportunities, and to like get a taste of like what that kind of like life is like, of like synchronicity and joy and beauty. Yeah, it's amazing. So gotta
Totally.
have a taste of that.
All right, cool. Love that. Um, so let's talk about the elements for a second. You want to?
I think you should take that away.
Okay, sure. Um, yeah, so we're gonna move through the elements. So yeah, I just want to go through briefly, and Austin, you can comment whenever you want. Um, but we'll begin with the Earth. Actually, I can't remember if I decided on the order for the retreat, but maybe I'll change it up right now, or maybe I'll change it up again. Who knows? Anyway, we'll start with Earth most likely because that's kind of the root and the grounding. It's the feminine energy that holds and contains. So it's heavy and dense, and it's made of all the stuff that makes up our physical lives and bodies and details and circumstances and all of that, and some of the stuff that feels taboo sometimes as well that we don't want to talk about. So that's our earth element.
Mm.
And then fire is how things get started. Fire is how things get started. So the first spark of an idea of transformation. Um, yeah, the kind of the leap of faith almost that starts with that spark. So yeah, and then moving to water. Water is fluid, and it's the creative force, our sexuality, our sensuality, very deep into feeling, which can be beautiful and light, and also very, very deep and heavy, and like a big ocean wave crashing. So our emotions that sometimes can feel very overwhelming, and yet we can harness that power of the water. And
Mm-hmm.
then air, it's expansive and it's love, and it just fills up all of the space, and it's very moving um and yeah, it's like all the ideas. So between earth and air, it's like we're maintaining balance between the upward and the spacious, and then the downward and heavy. So the ideas versus the reality almost, or the ideas moving in flow with with the reality, with all of the details. That's how we can really like
Mm-hmm.
harness who we are and what we want, and move forward. Use fire to get started, and water to have things flow, and then we're existing in the spacious spacious realm that's also contained. It has a container. So with each of the elements, I started to mention, but with each of the elements, we can also talk about the masculine and feminine energy. So the masculine being more
Mm-hmm.
more structured, more linear, and the feminine being more fluid, okay, and filling up the space. And so we need both in order to do anything, right? We need the masculine energy, the container, the structure, in order to show up anywhere at a certain time, right? To go on a trip, to make your plane, to come up with the money, the
Mm-hmm.
finances, like all of those details. And then we need the feminine in order to actually just be there and receive and be able to drop in and be able to flow and be able to kind of open ourselves to download the ideas and all the stuff that's moving through us. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
my little quick talk. What about you? Anything to add?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so what comes to mind for me is that like this is like this centerpiece, like this axis, like all these like four different elements are all like different like directions, and we're looking to like access these in our bodies and in our spirit and draw upon them for their strength. You know, I can be like wishy-washy and emotional and go into chaos, or I can be ungrounded, or I can be airy in my head all the time. And so we all have these different directions, these different archetypal energies within us. So just like you said, to be able to like bring them like all within, all in the center, into a balance and work with them from both this like masculine and feminine polarity. This idea of being excessive or deficient, this idea of being um, very extroverted versus very introverted, all these things can all kind of come together. And so when we're in this place, like this beautiful place in Costa Rica on the beach, where it's the water and the sun and the air and sand, like all connecting us, we can start to like draw upon those things ourselves. And yeah, that's where it's like we'll be able to use these things, use these qualities that we draw upon in our psyche to bring them forth in life, to actually like heal, to take care of business. And we can be so stuck in, the grounded, the grind of, of money and duties and family responsibilities that we can kind of lose access to these things. And they're actually a huge power source when
Mm,
we learn how to harness them.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. So the retreat is live for booking. I used Trip Tribe as the producer for the retreat, so they handled all the details and they've worked with the venue that we're working with many times. So I feel really good about going through them, and they totally get the whole yogi, like what we want as yogis and spiritual seekers and what's important to us as far as the venue. So I feel really, really excited and really supported in working with them. So all the details are in the link in my profile. And yeah, beautiful options for rooms to share. There's also a couple options for your own room.
Oh my God.
And and yeah, so I'll be teaching yoga and meditation every day. Austin will step in to teach some meditation, maybe some qigong, and um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then Austin will also offer an additional workshop. Any teasers about what you want to offer?
Uh, we'll see as it develops, but really just what I draw it upon with really learning how like energetically access all these things within our body and around us. It'll be some like real wizard shit, some real like magical stuff to actually create a life that is magical and in
Amazing.
such a fun way.
Yeah, we're gonna have homemade food
Yeah.
and we're gonna hang out at the beach and yeah, the excursion, the waterfall hike excursion, as well as anything additional that people want to add on. So I really hope people consider coming. If you have any questions, if you want to chat, feel free to reach out to either of us. And yeah, please, if you're interested, please at least reach out within the next week because we want to make sure that we have enough interest, enough people to make the trip viable to move forward. And yeah, September, super excited. Anything else
Yeah.
to add?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll just say like this is like a super intimate experience to get to like really experience some like depth and really like in a semi-private environment, basically one-on-one almost. And yeah, spots are limited, but it's gonna be magical. Yeah, the food is gonna be gorgeous. The food, I'm excited for the horseback riding. It's so many things in there, like all contained within one. And oh, and the little bungalows are, yeah, they're everything's amazing looking. So it would be super sweet. But yeah, reach out, comment, let us know if you're interested, and yeah, like let's see yeah, how we can make it work, time wise, money wise, see what's coming up, and
Thank you.
yeah, really look forward to
Yeah,
it.
thanks for mentioning that. That's actually super important that it is an intimate trip. We only have 12 spots. Um, so yeah, it like, obviously we're hoping to fill all of those spots, but even in that case, it's a small group. So it's a great opportunity to go with a small group and have an intimate experience and get a lot of one-on-one attention and um, yeah, being a close-knit group of seekers that are also looking to heal and transform.
Yeah. Yeah, the community's gonna be really sweet. Like we're gonna be this little pod that's really creating transformation and celebrating our lives with each other, which is really
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. Thanks for chatting, Austin.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you
You
so much
too.
for having me. I'm looking
All
forward to
right.
this.
Have a great night, everyone. See you soon.